What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to asking the most Brexit place in Britain if they regret it. You know, I came across this video and I thought this would be really interesting to check out something about Brexit. I really haven't looked at anything about Brexit since I started this channel, and honestly, I don't really know too much about it. I obviously know what it was. It was when Britain was leaving the European Union, and obviously a lot of changes came with that. But I don't really have an opinion on if Brexit is good or bad. I don't know. I obviously, since I don't live over there and I really haven't looked into this too much, I really can't make an informed opinion on what I would really think about Brexit. I just have to kind of trust what you guys tell me in the comments about it. And, I'll try to check out some other videos. I've been told by a lot of people when I've thought about doing Brexit that I should probably just not go there because it's such a heated topic with a lot of people. Because I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like it passed on very, very narrow margins, something like 50% or 51% or something like that. So obviously it's about half the people in Britain liked the idea of leaving the European Union. The other half wanted to stay. So it's going to be a very heated topic, but I just want to put that out there, guys. Don't attack me about it. Don't attack the messenger, because I have no idea anything about Brexit really, other than the very basics of what it is. I don't know how it's affected you guys since this took place a few years back. And that's something I really want to dive in, but I think this will be interesting to kind of check out what people from the place that voted the most for Brexit, what they think about Brexit, since it's actually taken place. Do they regret it? Do they still agree with the fact of leaving? Anyways, guys, let's just go ahead and dive in and check out asking the most Brexit place in Britain if they regret it.
Politicians, they're just, coked up posh boys that think they can run the entire planet, and it's just like, what?
Did you vote to leave?
Yes.
Are you happy with how Brexit has gone?
No.
If you want to come and work in our country and we need you, come. If you don't, if you're here for a payment holiday and benefits, then don't come.
I don't know if you know this, but Boston had the highest proportion of Leave voters in the UK.
Okay.
Does that surprise you?
Not really, no, to be honest.
Boston?
Do you want to go back into the EU?
I've never heard of that place.
Absolutely, yeah. I didn't really want to come out. I'm very much a Europhile anyway. It was only my ex-wife. And the idea that Turkey would come into the EU and then we'd be loused out with thousands of Turks. I got no problem with Turkish people. I love Turkish people. But to have all of my wife's family coming over, oh no.
I voted to leave Europe, and I recognise the direction it was going in, and it's authoritarian.
So my other half, he's a farmer. He wanted to remain because there was lots of gifts available to farmers in terms of subsidies. I'm a business owner and I wanted to leave. I wanted to take back control of immigration. And actually, ironically, neither of us voted. We were lying in a field in Glastonbury. And we had this conversation that he was one way and I was the other, and therefore we cancelled each other out. So therefore it was okay that we hadn't voted because we were lying in a field in Glastonbury.
Oh man, that makes me happy though. Like, there's so much divide politically. People don't talk to each other, and she's a perfect example of her and her partner. They completely disagree on this particular subject that is very heated amongst a lot of people. But they're able to sit there and be like, I disagree with you, and then they're fine. And that's what I love, man. I wish more people could just disagree with someone and just be like, okay, I disagree with you, and move on. We have different opinions. It's like, man, that's great. That's awesome.
So, but that's where we are on that situation.
Why did you vote to leave?
I've got an ex-missus who's Turkish, and I was rather afraid that we'd have all the Turks over here. And an ex-missus who's completely bonkers is quite enough, thank you.
The 1,000 a day perhaps coming over in these dinghies, I know that I feel sorry for them because they're escaping from terrible times, but why do they go through so many countries to seek asylum in England when there's other countries there? Because it's an easy ride, and the government's got to listen to us I'm only one voice, but something needs addressing. It needs sorting out. You can't keep letting them come, putting them in hotels and paying thousands of pounds a week to house them. And then there's other poor people here what's from England, what's homeless, and they're laid on the streets. How does that work?
Did you vote to leave the EU?
No, I didn't. I didn't vote at all.
What was it?
So is that a big part of what this is? Was it about the refugee situation? Is that one of the main things that that Brexit was basically about? That's what it seems like a lot of it is about. Not everything, obviously. There's much more to it, I can tell, but that seems to be for a lot of people, that seems to be a big part of it.
About the Leave movement that appealed to you?
Well, how can I say? I suppose it's trying to look after your own and look after your people in the town. And when you look around the town, you know, look at the murder rate around the town. You've only got to look, you know, it's just, people need to start looking at this town. It's terrible, you know.
Where is
It's a place
Boston?
where I don't want to be anymore.
I've got to check that place out. I'm just curious now.
I don't want to be in this town.
Because I personally believe everybody has the right to try and better themselves and bring their family along for the ride. If you want to come and work in our country and we need you, come. If you don't, if you're here for a payment holiday and benefits, then don't come.
There's a lot of foreign people working in the hospitals because they want to work. The trouble is as well, a lot of the English don't want to work. They just want to sit there and claim benefits. It's too easy. You know what I mean? I've worked all my life in the building trade and I've grafted all my life. And that's how I've been brought up. But a lot of them, they just don't want to work.
When I first came here, you know, like that was 12 years ago, it was much different than what it is now. So, you know, I don't honestly blame the locals, you know, for doing that. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Where did you come from?
From Latvia. From first, yes. When I was in school, you know, I've heard, not to me personally, you know, to other people, like go back to your own country. That was like, you know, I think, how to say, you know, that's what a lot of people said, you know, to like foreign people. Now I can't really hear it that much, you know, because even when you walk around Boston, all you do hear is foreign people rather than, you know.
Did you vote to leave?
Yes.
Are you happy with how Brexit has gone?
Is that true? Like, is the town so, has it changed that much to the point that the natives are now outnumbered by people that aren't originally from there? Wow.
No.
Why are you not happy about it?
When you look at it, I didn't really look at it in depth. You look at the, how can I say, you lose your collective bargaining. You know, I was duped really, I suppose. I jumped on that bandwagon of, yeah, let's get out and get it. No, I was wrong.
So you regret it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, if I'm honest, I was a dispassionate leaver. And to be honest with you, that's because I kind of felt that you couldn't bring people with you. I was a taxi driver in Rayleigh before my brain tumour, which is in Essex. Massive, Mark Francois, our MP. Right. It was a massive Leave voter thing. To be honest, I was dispassionate about it. But 6 years later, we're still in a state where we've got a load of people who say, let's leave it, look at this smoking pile of rubble, isn't it great? And we've got a load of other people on the other side that say, let's just rebuild it as it was, instead of rebuilding it brick by brick and bringing people with you.
You look at what you lost through Brexit and, you know, you got, like, I try to explain to people when, I was a union rep, and I know as a group of, if you go in and command something or try and get something, then as a group you get listened to. As an individual, you don't get listened to. It's like if you go do a deal with another country to buy their gas, or, you know, as a group, you've got bargaining rights. You've got collective bargaining rights. As one person going in saying, I want to buy your gas, they'll go, well, I'm sorry, you'll pay our price. But as a collective group, you've got more clout, you know.
I started to ask, what exactly are the things that have been lost since Brexit happened. But is that basically most of what he's getting at when he said that, is the fact that because you're no longer part of this union of countries, the kind of the bargaining power you have when you talk to other countries, for example, with the fuel, with the gas, you don't have as much of a bargaining power. You don't have as much power to get a better deal for yourself. Is that kind of what a lot of people are regretting about that? I still don't, like I said, when I started this, I don't really understand exactly what Brexit means. Obviously, it means a lot. It's changed a lot, but I don't really know those things. So I'm kind of depending on people in the comments and some videos I may continue watching later on after this to really start understanding exactly what Brexit has done or meant to the UK.
Has regenerated this place. If you'd have come here 30 years ago, it was just dying its backside, really. But now it's all vibrant. Look down here, you've got Lithuanian restaurants, Bulgarian restaurants, Polish bakeries. It's absolutely fantastic. And obviously it's the Eastern Europeans that have really created a renaissance for Boston. So what it was, the people voted in Boston against to leave, was fundamentally the old white British population, certainly pushed to that way by the right-wing press, etc., to take that viewpoint. But it's not a general viewpoint. It's only on that majority of white English. And of course, bear in mind, this has been very much an agricultural area, and consequently not a highly intellectual area, where you've got all these other people coming in here taking all the jobs. But of course, they're actually doing the jobs, and they're what's making this place is now. If it hadn't have been for the Eastern Europeans come here, the Boston would have physically died 20 years ago. It's absolutely fantastic what's happened now.
Are you happy with how Brexit has gone?
No, I don't think anybody's happy with how Brexit's gone. I think bear in mind mine was a particular reason and whatever, but as far as Brexit's concerned, it was ill thought out. It's led to all kinds of issues, especially in Northern Ireland. And the fact of the matter is, we have to address this. We either got to get some sort of trade deal with Europe to restore most of what we had previously, or we've got to go back in. This idea of Britain as being able to be an independent country and out there in the bigger, wider world, it's never going to scan. We're a small country. We're a has-been empire. We've got to be a part of a bigger thing.
Wow.
And this idea that we're all going to become the whole new, wonderful England, it's not always going to happen. It's going to keep forcing down wages, forcing down living conditions, which is not what we need. We need a broader middle class in this country. That's what we desperately need. It's no good having this wealth divide we've got at the moment. It's too divisional. We've got to have something better than this. So we need to expand the middle class, which will probably mean have some form of trade deal with Europe that's going to work.
You know, he brings up something I've seen, I don't know how, somewhere in comments or something, but it does seem to be something particularly unique for some reason. I don't know what it is about Northern Ireland when it came to Brexit. What is different about their situation when it comes to Brexit versus, England or Scotland or Wales, for example? How's it affected them differently? Because I've seen that in other ways, in comments and stuff, and I just don't quite understand the situation. So someone could please explain that in the comments. I'd be very appreciative.
I won't be here at the end of the day because of my circumstances, and I just hope that things will have moved on. My children will have a different view. My grandchildren will have a different view on things. I made the boat. I couldn't make it either way. At the end of the day, I'm old school. At the end of the day, people weren't happy after 40 years, and I just worry that nobody still, even now, hasn't made a positive case for staying for it. Everybody seems to be fighting for, no, it's terrible, yes, it's great, or whatever. I kind of hope over the next 10 to 15 years we'll move a little bit further, building it brick by brick. Why don't we just move forward one step at a time and bring people with you at every step of the way? I don't know, to be honest with you. It won't be my decision. I don't have to live with it. I voted leave because I didn't think it would have a great effect on me, and to be honest, it hasn't.
What's something that would really improve people's lives in Boston?
Smiling. I'm going to go completely off the bat. Smiling, being nice to each other, stop attacking each other, looking for common goals.
Yes, I great way to end the video. I like that. Smiling, not attacking people because you disagree with them. That's one of the first steps to improving any country, any group of people, any community. Understand you come to your conclusions for different reasons. You might not understand the other person's reasons, but they've got to a place based off their life experiences. No matter what side of the aisle you're on a particular subject, you've gotten there because you were born into a certain family at a certain time. You had certain friends. You went to certain schools. You had certain employment. You were presented to certain media at a certain period of time, on and on and on. It doesn't mean the other side is bad or good or whatever. It just means that you have a different opinion. And as soon as the faster everybody can understand that and quit arguing with their neighbors, maybe conversation can be had. And when conversation can be had, positive change can be created. But I thought this was interesting, guys. I still don't really obviously understand what exactly Brexit has done on the ground in the UK and Northern Ireland is part of the UK. But yeah, what exactly has it done to Britain, good or bad? I understand that, a number of people regret it but I don't understand why. Outside of the fact he explained, the bargaining power issue. And I can see that being, there's a case for that, obviously, I think, but there's got to be more to it than just the bargaining power, because, I can't imagine that is a huge issue. Because Britain is pretty big. it's one of the bigger countries, not the biggest, but it would be one of the bigger countries in the European Union anyway. I'm sure when it was in the EU, it was probably one of the most powerful countries in the EU. I'm sure France and Germany were probably up there as well, as some of the more powerful countries within the EU. But yeah, guys, I would love it if some people could, in the comments, if you guys would share with me your experience with Brexit, whether you like it, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, why you agree with it or disagree with it, what you're hoping happens over the course of the, for the next few years or whatever. What do you think can be done? I'm just starting to learn about Brexit, like I said, so I don't really have an opinion. All I can do is look at a video and just start asking questions and listen to what you guys tell me in the comments. But if you have some other good videos about Brexit, that you think I'd like to check out, please feel free to leave them in the comments. But yeah, guys, I thought this was interesting, though. It gave me a little bit of perspective and helped me understand a little bit about what's going on with Brexit. But I have a long way to go to really understand the ins and outs of it. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.